You followed the training, you've built the skills, and you became the therapist. But now you're wondering, is this it? Beyond the therapy room is where we have the conversations most therapists are thinking, but not saying out loud. There's Sky, psychologist and mentor, and Ali, counsellor and tantric healer, bringing two perspectives, clinical and intuitive, structured and expansive. We talk burnout, identity, spirituality, business, relationships, and what happens when you stop playing by the rules that you were trained in. This is for the therapist who knows there's more. Two different paths, two different perspectives, but the same truth. There's more available to you than the box you were trained in. Hello listeners, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Therapy Room, where Sky and I are gathered today and ready to share lots more about our passion and our enthusiasm. So up until now, our conversations have been mostly based around some of those stuck points or pain points that we experience internally as therapists, and that keep us a bit small or limited in how we're showing up, how we're supporting, and even how we're creating our business. And so we thought it would be a great idea today to start like turning a corner a little bit and having those discussions around if you've had inspiration or a great idea arrive, something that you want to do beyond one-on-one therapy space. What do we do about that?
How do we go from the one-on-one to building beyond the therapy room? And what does that look like in real time?
Absolutely. For me, one of my very first ideas to create something was a group for children. And that inspiration came because I was a mum of two children and I was watching how much they struggle with big feelings and emotions. And I'd been doing reading as a mama to learn more about that so I knew how to best support them. And then I'm like, there's so many children who could benefit from this, not just my own two. And for me, it was just capturing that inspiration. And I started just making a little bit of a Word document and then added little bits over like a period of 6 months, I think, or more. And that was one of the very first things I brought to you, Sky, wasn't it? I'm like,
it was literally
I created this children's group.
It was very cool.
And like, you don't always know, I guess, at the start what the whole project or the whole idea will be. But if you get that spark or that bolt or that, you're lit up by something, I think it's really important to capture that and not lose it amongst all the other tasks and to-do lists and people that you're supporting. So I wondered today if you might, like you, Sky, are so passionate and you have lots of grand ideas. And I know your brain's a busy brain because you tell us all the time. But how is it that you capture something to decide, hey, shall I follow that kind of thread of inspiration and decide to create something out of that idea or not? Like, do you have a method?
It's actually a little bit interesting, right? Like, I have a personal coach, and one of the things that she taught me was the Walt Disney method.
Okay.
And if you don't know what it is, Google it. But the idea is that Walt Disney creating Disneyland had all these creative ideas, but his brain kept like kind of shutting things down. And so what he did was he created 3 separate rooms. So the first room, and that's probably more where we're at today, is the creative room, because a lot of the times we have creative ideas, or like you said, that spark of passion, or that wouldn't it be cool if, except because our brain is programmed to tell us when something bad might happen, or danger, or how things won't work, or where the problems might be, we are so quick with that trapdoor to kind of shut the ideas down that they never form life. And so I got in the habit of being okay with the sentence of wouldn't it be cool if, and allowing my brain to explore that irrespective of any worries, thoughts, reasons why it wouldn't work would show up.
Because it's quite easy for that inner narrative to talk you out of something, isn't
it? Absolutely. Like, tell anyone who's had a great idea in the shower, by the time that they get out, it's actually gone, right?
So many things have landed for me and they're just blown out the car window while I'm driving,
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think it's just starting to like you said, pay attention to it, jot it down, talk to people about it, like actually give some life to the thoughts first.
So let's stay in that kind of like arrival space or that birthing space for a moment, because it might might not just be an idea that comes from within you, which is a beautiful thing. It could be that you're really passionate about a topic and you keep noticing you're talking about it with everybody all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Or you're reading about a particular subject or topic area or type of person, and you just keep feeling drawn to that and magnetized to that for a particular reason.
Yeah. I think there's 3 things to look at, like when you're going to expand beyond the therapy room. One is like, what do you, like you said, what do you do on repeat on a daily basis that you actually don't mind doing? You know, what are you actually really, really skilled at? And then what might you want to use those 2 things to create or do?
Exactly, because for me, it's reading and writing. I love to read and write. Have done since I was a student.
Yeah.
Find myself doing that in my free time. And even though I love to speak too, reading and writing is huge for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the opposite. I love to talk.
Yeah, and
this is how it gets us a balance, right?
It's great examples that there's no right or wrong way to go about anything.
Not at
there's
all.
your way.
Yeah.
And as long as you're able to allow yourself some spaciousness to percolate. I like to use the word percolate.
I like it.
It's giving that like incubation space for those ideas and passions and enthusiasm to kind of like just mix together and build, isn't it?
Yeah.
Build an energy within you about it.
I think a key word there that you just said is energy, because every great idea can also be killed by somebody else's opinion. And so who you're with, who you share with, and just the space in which you, like the environment in which you sit and write it down, can all be really important as to whether that gets to percolate and be created in the Walt Disney room, or whether, again, it kind of gets on the back shelf and the dust collects.
Yeah, so come back to that Walt Disney concept for a minute with me, Sky, because I really understand that first room.
Yeah.
You've explained that well. We let our brain just go for it. All of the ideas can flow. There's not a shutting down of anything or a criticizing or a judging of anything. It can all just come up and be okay to be shared.
Yeah.
And I did this myself as an activity when I created that program that I've been
Love
sitting
that.
on for too long. I just got all the Post-it notes as the idea came, and I just put them all on the glass sliding door in my bedroom at the time. But what's room 2?
Room 2 is where we kind of get to, well, what is probably not realistic at all, right? So if my idea was like, I don't know, I wanted to create a group and I'm going to bring a unicorn to it, like unicorns don't exist, right? So we cross that one out. So what is just absolutely never going to happen, not realistic, not possible, not in the realm of you know, where I'm at in life.
So
right?
it might be something that's too far-fetched, or it could be way out of your budget to action.
Or you're not there yet.
Yes.
Right? So if it was like, we want to create a podcast and we want to be doing it, I don't know, in the Bahamas on the beach, but we've got kids at the moment and there's not the finances to get there. It's like, well, maybe that one's a not yet one.
Yeah.
So what is a now one?
Yeah.
And so from then that list, the third room was like the execution room. Okay, we're going to take a list from what's possible. What is the thing we're going to focus on? And then we're going to execute. We're going to do it.
So I think whenever that passion or idea, or even if it's a lot of them arrive, execution or room 3 is whatever it is that you can capture to just be the first stepping stone.
Yes.
Like for me, it was I want to build a whole program, but that's too big to just sit with. So it's, can I just capture a loose framework? Can I capture what is the first module? Or for yourself, it might even be like, I once saw you with a little notebook. And
I've got a million notebooks still, right?
Rather than losing them amongst your to-do list as a clinical psychologist, if you'd have written something down, you've at least documented it and caught it, so it's not flying away with other thoughts, is it?
Yeah, otherwise we lose it.
Yeah. So what's one first stepping stone you can take when that inspiration or that bolt of passion arrives for you?
Yeah, because I think there's, and I don't know the exact sentence, Ali, but it's something like the greatest way to success is by executing one step, right? Because the more time there is between your idea and execution, the less likely, one, is it for it to happen at all, but 2, for you to be successful in it, because you actually lose that passion, momentum, excitement, like all of those feelings that you had that would have helped you actually kind of bring it to life.
Yeah.
Like we've kind of let those feelings go stale a little bit.
Yeah. And it's for me, like with my program, it arrived for me 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm relating to what you're saying there. But at the same time, I'm cutting myself a little bit of slack because what I built was a 12-week module, like 12 modules in a program.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a signature program. And that isn't something that can be birthed or created overnight, is it?
Yes, correct.
And
No.
while I'm a single mum running a business supporting my clients, it's really hard to find the free time to make the next stepping stone and the next stepping stone and the next stepping stone. So sometimes it's okay also to just chip away at something quietly in the background, and then when you're ready, maybe that's when the world's ready to see it and hear it too.
Yeah.
So I think, again, let's not judge any of our ways in which we do things. But I'm going to add to that. I just heard someone yesterday online talking about, you know, it was someone who wants to help coaches to scale their businesses.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing to seek support for.
Yeah.
And she talked about 2 types of coaches. And I'm like, I swear she's talking about us, Sky, because she's talking about the action taker, which
Yeah.
is so you.
Yeah.
And the procrastinator, or the person who's a planner or an
Yeah.
organizer and who takes their time. And I think there's a time and a season when both of those parts are necessary. You know, me building the back end of my program and making sure it's all smooth sailing before I launch
Yeah.
helps me feel safe and able to be in it.
Yes.
When I do expand that idea beyond my therapy room.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So
And
it's,
I think that's true because there's 2 things in that, right? Like one is that we need to do it our way.
yes.
Right? Because if I took too long, then I'm never doing anything. Whereas if you jump in too quickly, then it kind of like dysregulates your nervous system.
Yes.
So absolutely doing it your way. The second thing in that is like sometimes like me learning to slow down a little bit is so important, and you learning to speed up a bit is so important. Like it's like a dance that you've got to learn, right? Because I've had it with my coach. She's like, "Oh my God, Sky, you've jumped in and you've done it all again, but we haven't done like the back end stuff."
Yes. And I feel that listening to you sharing that is a real inspiration to challenge myself in new and different ways. Because even
Yeah.
this young coach I was listening to,
Yep.
she shared a clip of herself and she was crying her eyes out, age of 22, because she's trying to be an online coach during the COVID lockdowns.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's videoed herself. I got
Yeah.
no qualifications and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm figuring out as I go. And I'm like, here I am, 40 something, you know, expertise, and I'm not showing up online.
You're not doing the fucking thing you got
That's
skills
right.
for.
Like, find a middle ground. Don't sit
Yeah.
on one end of a pendulum and,
Yeah.
and not give yourself opportunity. So let's start talking about some of those different ways in which we might be inspired to share beyond the room. Like for me, it was group work.
Yeah.
Was one of the first ways. What about you, Sky? Do you remember one of the first kind of ideas or ways in which you wanted to?
I think I was a bit similar to you, Ali. The first one was group work as well, but I feel like for me it was like, no, I want to get like more in depth and more into this, and then we ran a retreat together, and I feel like then I was like, oh yes, this feels really good, and then I was like, no, now I want to do a podcast. I feel like I'm that person who, what's the next thing? I want to do all of the things.
Yeah, so you love to challenge yourself, but it also sounds like you really like that close proximity, face-to-face, engage
Connection
with your people.
right? And I
Yeah.
think that's important, because if we just go into, and you said this a minute ago, if we just go into like, I'm going to create a podcast, and yet though the thing that you don't like to do is talk, then is the podcast for you, right? It might be, it might not. But if it's like, I love to write, and then you're writing programs, and then you're sharing, like you're more in line with your skill set, with what you love, like that's equally as important as the thing.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, making
Yeah.
aligned choices when it comes to your offerings and how you want to share them.
Yeah.
Because for me, like I might love to talk one-on-one, but it took us creating our Facebook group and doing Facebook Live videos for
Yeah.
years on end for me to become more and more confident speaking in a group setting.
Yeah.
Because I grew up as that shy little girl who doesn't
Yeah.
want to be seen or talk to people, you know?
Yeah.
So it sometimes is like we don't always have to wait until we're completely ready. Sometimes it is getting like your friend grabbing your hand like you did for me and jumping in the deep end of
Yes, I think, I don't know about you, Ali, but for so many, particularly I think like highly skilled people, there's this thing that like we're not seeing that we have enough skill already. Like we need another qualification, or we need more training, or we need this or that before we can, versus you are already so skilled in so many ways. It's just doing the thing and then figuring it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is that clarity or that confidence does show up in the action. I'm going to keep coming back to
Absolutely it
that.
does.
Because I've proved it to myself time and time again.
Yes.
Because I have been the one who wants to just be the squirrel gathering more nuts, more qualifications, more experience, more feedback, more whatever. But it's really not necessary half the time.
No, it's not.
So, my warning to all of you beautiful therapists out there is don't be like me and waste too many years sitting in a quiet room one-on-one with people. If you're having those ideas land, if you have a desire or an urge to share, speak, teach, write in a new way to reach people, or even if it is around, like, maybe you've got your way of helping people and you want to turn that into a program yourself.
Absolutely.
And market that online somehow.
Yeah. What is the thing that you're sharing with people that that you're known for? People like, oh my God, when Ali says this thing this way, this just lands. Like there's going to be so many little nuggets that you do on the daily basis that you're not even taking stock of. And it sounds weird, but like I have so many fucking notebooks, we've explained, but I also have some in my therapy room, right? And it's not to write down any client information, it's to write down when I say something and I'm like, oh, that's the thing that I keep saying, write it down. Oh, that's the thing that people keep saying I do well, write it down.
Yeah, the repetition.
Like it's almost like collecting evidence for yourself, or even talking with your peers. What do you know me for?
Yes.
The more evidence you collect to understand who you are and how you get to show up, the more you're going to know what that looks like for you, beyond that therapy room.
Yeah, because what I'm hearing there, Sky, is you're noticing the way you're languaging something that is your way.
Yes.
Maybe it's a concept you've been taught in uni or you've read from a book and you understand, but you language it in a particular way.
Yeah.
And when you're noticing yourself saying that, whether it's on repeat or whether it's just this one-off time, you like to capture it because that is something that's your wisdom,
Yeah.
And our beautiful essence shines through when we are being genuine and authentic and wanting to share that with the world. And it's such a beautiful thing.
I think that's an important sentence that you said, because when we're looking at inspiration, what lights us up in sharing, one of the biggest bottlenecks I think for therapists is when you're like, I'm going to share a mindfulness group, and then you go online and you're like, oh, everybody's doing mindfulness. But then it's like what you said, it's like, yeah, but nobody would be doing it in the way that you do it, or the way that you language it, or with your energy. And so recognizing that it's not always about the thing, it's about your flavor of the thing.
Yes.
Is what's really, really important.
Yeah. And the one thing that really kept drawing me back to you and creating with you, Sky, is there's an abundance mindset that you have. Like some people, they sit in a scarcity mindset of, oh, I can't share myself or this thing or what I know because there's other people doing it. It comes back to imposter syndrome or not good enough story or a part of
all
me.
All of those identities we talked about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe there's like so many people in the world that really just need to hear it land from Ali's way or Sky's way or your way.
And we've had this experience, right, where we've ran groups and someone's gone like, oh yeah, Sky, thanks, and like, oh my God, Ali, this was amazing, and blah blah blah, or vice versa, because like different personalities attract different people.
Absolutely, they do. And as you say, even just the presence that you have or how you embody, like in real time, people are going to feel that transmission.
Absolutely.
And they're going to know that you're the person for them.
So what's the thing, people? If Ali have got if they've got a thought and they've got an inspiration and something's sitting on their heart, what are they doing with it?
Capture it for starters. Take whatever tiny small first step you can. Write it down. Talk to a friend about it. Keep noticing the repetition as it's showing up. And don't be afraid to action something. Maybe it is that you're whatever it is that's landing for you or inspiring, creating that desire or urge to break beyond the therapy room, maybe it is about your next becoming, or you're being more expressive and sharing and revealing more of yourself to the world in a new way.
Love it.
And you never know where it's going to take you, people. So just make a start.
Do the damn thing.
Yeah. And we've created, as we have with all of our podcast episodes, a reflection guide for you. So if you would like to download that, it's going to give you some awesome questions that you can sit with to contemplate for yourself what to do about inspiration when it arises. So don't forget to check in the description box below the episode. You can pick it up there. And join us in the next episode of Beyond the Therapy Room.
Love it. Thanks, everyone.